Good morning, Penn High School.
This is the Ron and Ryan podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do a little recap of the Mishawaka game right now. So final score, Penn wins. There you go, 21-13.
Good dub.
Kyle Riffle scored 2 rushing touchdowns. Nick Favilla scored 1 rushing touchdown. Ryan, how we get the win this time? What's a little different? Last year's game, it came right down to it. We had a chance, but this game, we showed a little dominance in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, our offensive line played great. Riffle had a really good game running. Villa also ran the ball well, scored 1 touchdown.
Kyle's rushing better than I've ever seen. Like sitting there, not being able to play, I'm watching him run. He's running through guys, around guys. He's making moves. It's really impressive what he's doing. Nick's running the ball great as well. And a little offensive breakdown here. What he's really doing good is once he gets out of the pocket and we get a little rollout, the wide receiver will come and crack down, and you can see he's getting some width from the line of scrimmage and from the box to where he's got an option where he can either throw it flat, throw it to the comeback, or take off. And he's good at doing all 3 of those things. Good at getting the ball out of his hands, good at taking off when he needs to. He's good in that area. Really good to see the offense taking big strides. Offense line's doing good, like you said. Kyle's running the ball great. Nick's doing a great job at quarterback. It's just really good to see. And Ryan, what are you thinking on the defensive breakdown?
Coach Corey installed a great game plan. We actually switched to a 5-man front, and it showed effective for stopping the Mishawaka offense. Our D-line was clogging it up. Linebackers were filling where they were supposed to be, and we really shut them down. Nick Hardrick and Pat Macklin were locked down as always. I think they deflect 3 out of the 4 passes they thrown.
Yep. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, they had a good game. They're all over the place.
Yeah, Ty Zaner in there as well.
Ty, those guys they're good at flying around the field. They're fast. So what does this mean for Penn? This was a highly anticipated game. We talked about the animosity last week. We talked about how this is just such a big deal for both communities, both teams, both for all the history. What does this mean for Penn? What does this mean for Mishawaka now going forward? For Penn, I think it's really a boost, because the next people that are going to play in this game are the freshmen who are watching on the side. The people that were at this game, experiencing it from the side, getting to see it live, not being able to play, but they're still seeing what takes place in a Penn-Mishawaka game. I think that's really good that Penn's able to have guys there that are going to play the next Penn-Mishawaka matchup in 4 years, 3 years down the line. I think it was good they were there to see it. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely great for them to see us get the win for the last game in a while, and that's definitely going to carry over for their game as well.
That'll always help them. So this win for Penn, this keeps the streak alive. Now, for those of you who don't know, for the past 47 years, Penn has been a 500 or above team. We haven't had a losing record since Geese got here, I think.
72 was the last time?
72 was the last time. It's real impressive. We can keep that streak. It was kind of up in the air for a little bit there. If we didn't win this Mishawaka game, there was a chance that we'd have a losing record on the season, and nobody wants that. But just like a Penn team should, we dug deep, trusted the seniors, trusted the coaches, really believed in the game plan, had a good plan, and we went and got the win when it counted. So how do you think we managed to keep that streak alive? How do you think we managed to do that next year? Because we always talk about strength of schedule, so next year at Cathedral, at St. X, we're still playing Valpo. We have really good teams look ahead, just like we played this year. So how do you think we're going to maintain that?
You guys are going to return a lot of seniors, and I think that's pretty important. I think it's going to be like 35 guys.
Almost.
A healthy senior class, it makes for a strong football team. Our senior class wasn't too big this year. We probably had the most heart out of everybody.
Yeah, definitely. You guys always dug deep. All the seniors, they took charge when they needed to, and I do agree with that. The returning guys who played against these big teams, to play them again, like the second year in a row coming back, that'll be big, because Kyle Riffle he knows how to run against St. X. He did it this year, and he'll be able to do it again next year. So he gives him more of a feel. All the wide receivers going to be back. I didn't get to play in that game, but I studied the film. I was still there with the guys, so I know what's going on. We're turning a lot of guys. I think that's what's going to keep this Penn team going, just like it always has. Now let's take a little look ahead to Portage. What are you thinking on that game?
Their record's not where they want it to be, 1-7, but their one win was against a very good team, Law. Portage was down most of the game, and they fought hard, came back and won it. So that shows that they're capable of doing some good things.
Mm-hmm. They're a historically good team. They have the keys to do it, right? I mean, on the scouting report and on film, it doesn't look like they got the guys to do it, but they obviously have proven that they can. So Penn really can't overlook these guys. Their record, like you said, isn't where it should be, so it doesn't show much strength in that area. But watching film, scouting report, going against the scout team, you can tell that they're able to do something if we let them. So we got to lock in and make sure we're doing what we should. The potential next game, we have 2 of the best records in our section are playing each other right now.
Yep. Chesterton and Warsaw.
Chesterton and Warsaw, that's right. So, going off of that, Penn, who's playing Portage with the worst record, is going to go play one of the teams with the better records. So, I was thinking, is that the best way to seed teams? You're going to have Warsaw and Chesterton with the best records play the winner of Penn and Portage. Portage is the worst record. We're tied for third best record. What do you think? Is the random draw for the section the best way to do it, or should we go by record? Is that how you should get seeded?
I kind of like the random draw. Can't really argue about it. It just is what it is, and play those games, and you get who you get.
Yeah. I see. I agree with you on that. It gives you more options, right? But not saying that the in-season games don't mean anything then, but you can lose all games in your regular season and you can still go in-state. Not that anybody would, but that's just the way I look at it. I think that the best team should have the better advantage. You know what I mean? Whether that's record or not. So that brings up my next question for you is, what do you think about if we were to, in the section, do seedings off of record, purely record, would you have to account for strength of schedule?
Absolutely. Our record isn't the best, but if you look at who we've lost to, Valpo's number 1 in 5A.
Number 1 in 5A.
New Prairie.
When we played New Prairie, they were number 1 in 4A.
Yeah, they're number 1 in 4A.
I'm glad you agree with that because I feel like that's the only fair way to do it. I think seeding by record, and not just by record, but by strength of schedule as well, is definitely the best way to do it. It gives the better teams the better advantage, and it gives the worst teams the worst advantage, because I think you should have to prove it in the regular season, and if you lose all your regular season games, you should have to play the team that won all the regular season games. So maybe that's the way it'll go in the future. Who knows? I know other states do that. Maybe it'll change in the future. Who knows? But obviously it's working. It's creating good matchups and good games right now. So Indiana playoff football, it's a spectacle.
Thanks for listening to Ron and Ryan in the Morning. This podcast was brought to you by The Pennant.
Be sure to check out the Pennant Twitter page and feel free to DM the Pennant with any questions or comments on the podcast.
Fire up. Go Penn.